Hey everybody, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. This time we are going to be doing, well, an updated version of the category sorter that Mizzou Games originally designed and I modified for Bedrock. So, now, it's still this still has similar layout that he has, but let's just do this the easy way. And the nice thing about this is you can actually work with any type of method that you want to be able to put things into the system. So let me just get up here because I have a hopper minecart and a rapid fire dispenser. I have, as you can see, non-stackables, partial stacks, and full stacks. So let's go around, take a look. As you can see, they're all filtering in and they're getting filled up here. Minecart takes off like it does, and if there's a shortcut, it's going to be able to take it. But if not, it's going to go all the way through. See, that one just took the second line. Now, what's different between this one and the previous version is one, it is actually a lot less resource intensive. You don't need as many resources for the redstone wise put it together. And it works the same way. And also, just because I can, you can also have this thing just a single wall of storage if you feel like. But yeah, so these need to go in the system. Neat. I love that little thing right there. Not great for massive, but works pretty well. And as you can see, items are just cycling out of it quite rapidly too. And they get stored up in here. And if we come in here, wherever, as soon as it reaches it, let's just take a look in here. I did some little testing here and there, just to make sure that it works in all the areas. We got the iron. We've got our partial stacks. We got our diamonds. And we have our overflow with things that don't go in there. And we have our non-stackables. Like I said, I was doing some testing. Now the system will continually run. I found this new layout, part of this setup, a lot more friendlier. But it still follows the same protocol. So what do you say, guys? Let's get to building this thing. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and in my inventory is roughly everything you're going to need. Okay, I've got 55 redstone dust that's been renamed because we need any random item, and I do recommend renaming it. Okay, and it has to be up to a stack. It has to be able to be stacked up to 64 for this. Okay, so this is just a quick look so you guys can see what you need. And the only thing not included with this is the extra storage. This is just the all the way up to the point where you are going to add your chest. So you're going to need more chests. So I'm just going to hang on to these up here because they're special. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to determine where you want your chests. Alright, I'm going to do a 3-height chest system. Then we are going to add hoppers into the back of each one. Now the items that I've listed are for each cell of the storage. So depending on the number of cells you want is depending on the number of that you're going to need. Now if you're doing this one, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing, except this one doesn't. This one just doesn't give you the whole of chest look, which is fine with me. This will be the wall of chests. That's the hall of chests. So, let's continue on. So, your storage, hopper's in the back with a barrel on top. We're going to throw a hopper in there. And now we are going to temporarily place a block and throw a hopper there, going into the block. So now we're going to determine where it's at. So we're going to place it there. We're going to place a solid block in front of it. And if it's your first one, we're going to place a dust on it, and then your next one is going to have a comparator on it. So dust, comparator, dust, comparator, dust, comparator, going all the way down 15 or whatever, however long you have it. So let's just eliminate that. And now we need to lock this bottom hopper from getting items in. So all we're going to do is put a block right behind it at an angle and put a comparator directly going into the hopper. That will lock the hopper. That will prevent any items from going in. So now what we need to do is set up a smaller area snore latch. So drop her there, going up, block, because it makes it so much easier to place them, and drop her there. In fact, we need those blocks there too. So now if I place my string, which is a random item, in here, this hopper is now locked. So if I throw any item in, it's just going to stay there. I can leave it alone, it's just going to stay right there. It's not going to go into this hopper because this hopper is locked. So now what we need to do is come to the bottom, go down one, back one, with a comparator. We are going to go block up and go add another one. We're going to add a dust here and a powered rail here. Now, when you build this for any more than just one section, you need to have one of them in the line to be a detector rail. So this is going to be my activator rail. I'll put a detector rail over here somewhere, over here somewhere. It doesn't matter as long as it's in the line, and I recommend earlier the better. Then behind the powered rail, we're going to place a block with a comparator, a block in front of the comparator, and a block on top of the comparator with dust on that. Now, get the two chests that you absolutely have to have. Place them in here, and we will place our water bottle, our 3 non-stackables, and our 55 fully stacked renamed items, because we don't want to have items filtering in where we don't want them in there. We need to get a slab here. You can also use glass or glowstone, pretty much anything that will allow you to open the chest. When you, with it on top, we will grab another slab and throw it on here. So we got a slab, a gap, slab. We'll throw 2 hoppers on top of each other, going into the chest. And 2 more comparators. 1 here, and 1 here. So now this one's locked, so if I throw an item here, it's not going to go in. So that's what we need. Then we're just going to put a powered rail there. So now I'm going to build out a couple more of these. I'm not going to do the angle, but I will show you guys how to set up for the quick system, for the the shortcut, which will make it faster. But that's something completely different. So for the shortcut, what you need to do is you need another block here. You need to throw a piece of dust on it. Go down 1, 2, 3. These 2 can go away, and throw a piece of dust. And now grab yourself a redstone torch, which I didn't have, and place it there. So what happens now is when this is full, when this has the signal strength 2, that dust will be off. So all you have to do is remove 1, and the dust gets powered. Put it back in, dust is turned off. So that just means that an item was taken from here, and we can actually say, okay, you don't need to go to the other ones at all. But that's for the short. That is for this. So let me build up a few more of these, just so that we have a nice appearance of it. And I will be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've got a small little 7 segment. Now, it's not necessary to have them, but you can. All you have to do is just get some lamps on top of here. Let me get these replaced with comparators. I just ran the line of dust. In fact, when your first one, like I said, needs to be dust, it has to be like that. So now what we need to do is I'm going to show you guys how to do the shortcut and how to continue. So at the very end of your line, you need to place a solid block and a solid block. You can use powered rails on here if you want, or you can use regular rails. It doesn't matter. But what we also need to do is, let me get that block out, is utilize a cleverly placed lever to power all of these. Now, I recommend using glass for this and a torch. So we'll get ourselves some nice glass, a redstone torch, and we'll just plop it down. You can plop it onto the side over here, and torch, and power all the lines. So what we need to do here for the shortcut, we'll go out one, and then we will just start creating our rail line. So this line right here is for our regular rails. So we will just spam our rails on. And if you notice right here is where it's coming out at, which is offset by 1. So we're going to come here. Go over 1, up, over, lock up. This will be powered. So we'll get our powered rails, line them up, take another one, and we will put a slab with a powered rail, and we're going to use normal rails here because here's our rail line. Get your rail line like this first before you do the shortcut. And now what we're going to do is find out what state we need to have this in. Okay, it's off, so we need to keep it off when it is like this. So all you have to do is just stick a lever there, turn it on and turn it off. Make a line. We'll go up a block and back a block. Grab a repeater, because we need the signal strength to be boosted, because it might come from all the way down over here if this happens to be 15 blocks, which means the comparator will not work. Leave it on default and then just run your line here. So now if I pull an item out of here, it switches. And if I put it back in, it locks back. So that's what we need for the shortcut. Now, I'm going to take apart the shortcut real fast, because we don't need the shortcut here, because I'm doing a straight version. Now, to properly set up for the turns, I will link my other video into it so that you'll be able to do it with the corners. So what we need to do is come out 1, block up, come out 1, block down, block up, block down, and make sure you have a path here. We'll place 2 rails here. We'll grab our powered rails, power them going all the way down. And if they're all powered, that's good, because now this line will cycle through that way. And you do this part at the end of your entire line. So now what we need to do is set up for the brain. So we'll place a temporary block here. We'll go down one here. We'll place a dropper going up. Make sure nothing's in the dropper. We can break these. Hopper going in. And a solid block. A solid block. A block going down and over. Then we are going to set this up right here. Put a comparator on subtract mode. Get your dust. This is a one-time thing, so you do it once and that's it. Block up and a block over behind it. We'll throw a comparator here with a block on its face. And now we need to grab ourselves some regular rails and our detector rail. We'll throw the detector rail right behind the comparator, and we will place some regular rails going down. Now, we need a signal strength of 14 here. So the best way I found is grab yourself a cake. Plop it down right there, and we're done. We're done with that. And we'll just circle the cake around like that. Circle that around. We don't need that. And one block up here. So now what we have is the start of the pull-out circuit, the one item pull-out circuit, which will pull an item out of from here if it's been filtered in. So like, let's say if I put redstone lamps in here and send the hopper minecart out here, and I have a full stack of redstone lamps, it will pull the redstone lamp out. Now what we need to do is, because it doesn't like passing items from the hopper to the dropper after it gets powered like that, so we need to force it to turn off. So block next to the hopper with a solid block, a block up. In fact, actually, it doesn't have to be a solid block. You use anything you want, but we need this. We need a piece of dust here. Block down. Over 3. Down. Up. Up. So now we will take dust down these last 2 blocks. Dust, dust. Grab our repeaters, 1, 2, and 6 ticks, 4, 2. Grab torches, and we will place a torch on the backside of here and the backside of here. Now that will lock that system. That will unlock the system and be able to power it again. Now, let's add a non-stackable filter in it because, well, we want to throw everything in our system. So underneath this first block, place a block with a block next to it, and then 2 more, if I can get in here, with dust on both of those and a comparator. We'll grab a torch and throw it here, and a hopper going down, and then leading into anything that you want. I recommend just sending it off that way. Get yourself some type of storage in there. I usually just throw a barrel there for now until I get a non-stackable chest area for it. But yeah, that works there. So now we'll get a powered rail and throw it here. So now this circuit is all done. This circuit is ready to go. Well, we need a few more there, but we need to continue going on. So, add 3 more blocks. Then we're going to place 3 more. Take out these 2 because those were temporary. Add 1 and another. Grab our droppers. And we'll set a dropper there. A hopper going into there and a hopper going into there. Now this is the easy part. Take powered rails, 1, 2, 3. Regular rails, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's set up there. Now, underneath here, we need to place a block. We'll set a block here, because we're going to do something with it later. We will go up a block by 2. Place a block there. Go down 1. We are going to make a cross right here. Bottom here gets a repeater set to 4 ticks. A torch here, dust, 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 and a repeater. And then all we have to do is take a comparator, place it here, and now we need to create a filter. So we need 4 non-stackables, and we need a stack of items. I'm just going to use normal bricks, and we need quite a few. We need 23, if I remember right, of stackable items. So we're going to throw the first stack in here, push these in. We are going to line up. I'm going to keep 1 and place that there. Now, put another dropper, get a chest, get a double, we need 2 chests for this. We'll place 2 chests, and we will add 3 hoppers. Just like that. Now, if I throw that brick in here, it will send it all the way up here, which is great. This is what we needed. Now we need to be able to get the minecart from over there to unload back down here. So we're going to take the last bit of these hoppers and connect them. So that's just 3 more hoppers. Perfect. A block on this bottom one with a block up, a block down, over, and over. This one, either use glass, use a transparent block. We need it to be transparent. Take a rail, place it there, break it, dust, dust, comparator, comparator. Now we need something here. I recommend grabbing yourself like a furnace, smoker, blast furnace, something simple that has an inventory, but the inventory is pretty small. And just throw it behind there, and just throw 1 random item in. Doesn't matter what it is. And put that to subtract mode. Actually, no, we can leave it like that. Because now, if I grab myself a non-stackable item, like this shulker box, and I throw it in here, it should end up in there, which it didn't. It ended up over here. So let me do this again. Stand right here, throw it, and now it's in the chat. Actually, no, it's in here. So we are going to need to grab ourselves some 5 non-stackable items. I like water bottles because they're cheap. So we will throw 1 in here, 4 in here. And when you do it, it has to look like this. So now that part's set up. Now let's get the activation system going. So right next to this dust, we will place a block. You can either use a comparator or a repeater for this, but we need to place it going there. A dropper going up, with a hopper going into the dropper on the side, a hopper going to the hopper, and a hopper going into the hopper with a piece of dust on top. In the dropper, you can take and throw one random item in, and that's set. As soon as it starts, this is going to push it up into there, and it's going to hold, because that's what we needed to do. So now we are going to take and one block down, one block over, one block down. Comparator. And a 2-tick repeater with a dust there, a block on next to the dust with a redstone torch on top of that, and a block on the torch, and a torch on the side of the block going towards the dust. That will not activate it. So that's okay. So now what we need to do is place a block here, on top of this, place one on top of there, and one going up here with a comparator going into that block with a torch going towards the dust. That will power it, and that's what we need. So if I take this out and throw it in here, it will activate this part of the system, setting it up in here into the locked position, ready to process. So I'm just going to go grab a lever real fast because we need to power these rails. Do not power this block. You can power this block or this block. So I'm going to power that one, which will power all those. Okay, now we got that done. Now the whole bottom, other than the single double chest here, one here, this pretty much is all done. So now let's continue on with the rest of this circuitry. On top of this block and next to it, we're going to place a block. And then we are going to create this pattern. I recommend using a slab here or a piece of glass to be able to that block goes there to be able to open the chest. A block up and a block up and down, break, and we will place dust here, dust here. We'll get our repeaters going into this block, a 2-tick, a 3-tick, a 1-tick dust on the slab on top of these blocks. And we will get our comparators going into the block, and we'll loop it around. There we go. So now, if I take this lever, turn it on, wait a moment for it to finish decaying, and that will pulse the rail, getting it going. Perfect. So now what we need to do is send it back. So from here, a block, right above the hopper, go out 2 and put another block also. This corner gets that, and it gets a normal rail, and this power rail, power rail, power rail, power rail, any block you want, with the torch right there. Block over, we'll place a block on top of there. Powered rail, normal rail, normal rail, normal rail, break, lock that up. We will place a piece of dust here with a block next to it. A torch with a going into a block. Let me move these droppers. A torch going into there, a block on top of that, and we need to go and create a pulse extender. So 2 comparative pulse extender with an extra one, repeater, block up, block over, block up. We're going to leave that there for now because what we need to do is get ourselves a trapdoor Any trapdoor will work. I like my iron trapdoors though. And we'll place that there. We'll break that block for our minecart and torch it there. 2 tick, going into the block of the torch. 3 tick, 1 tick, dust, 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 comparator, comparator. So now what happens is, when this thing gets pulsed, it's going to take the signal. When items start dropping, it's going to take the signal and wait a full comparator until it is done. Now, that's a little too short for me. So what we're going to do is, next to the dust, place a block up and a block down right next to that dust. Get ourselves a repeater and just throw it there. That's just, and if you want to, you can have this at anything you want, but 1 tick should be fine. Now we got this major circuit done. All we have to do is now connect up these. So we'll just draw a line, go down, and normal rail all along here. Now the last bit, we need to take this, take our droppers, go all the way up until you're parallel with these blocks. And off of this rail, we are going to place a hopper, hopper, and a hopper going into there. Now we need to power all these droppers. So, block up with a torch on top, block to the side, a block above it, a block on the second one with a block going down, a 2-tick repeater with dust here, here. We're going to cut that off and throw dust here. We're going to place a block here, a 3-tick repeater, and a 4-tick repeater with a block in front of that. So now if I come down here and activate this part right here by throwing a rail in there, it goes all the way to the top. And silently. So now we have the entire system actually built. And all we have to do now is just one little thing. We will grab ourselves a upper minecart. And I just recommend taking it and setting it right here or anywhere and pushing it. Allow it to process the information. Not the furnace, I wanted you. Our brick's still there. And we've got nothing in there. And we got 4 water bottles here. Alright, so let's just do a quick coding. So let's pop on over here where I have this set up. Now, when you are doing the coding, when you are organizing what goes into where, things to remember. You need to maintain a signal strength of 2. No more, no less. So, I recommend building this. One, it'll give you a visual representation of what you're doing. So if I pull one item out, it works. So if I put one item in, pull it out, and then pull a normal item out, and it turns off, that's good. But if I get an item like a honey bottle, put it in, and pull a normal item out, it doesn't go off. You have to remove more. You have to remove 3 more you have to remove a total of 4 for items that stack up to 16, 1 item for things that stack up to 64, and you can't put non-stackables in here, other than these 3. So let's go back on over here. And all you have to do is, when you are programming it, is just figure out how to get through there. Come in here. Stand here, and we've got redstone lamps, and I'm going to throw a slab in here. I will throw my rails in here, and all you need is just one item, and it doesn't matter where you put it. So let's head on over to the chest, and I am going to grab myself some more rails. I'm not going to throw them all in. So a redstone lamp because I want only one in there. Let's grab some non-stone slabs. Grab one of those. And we'll grab a couple more of these. Yep. And yeah, and just to get it set up right, let's just grab a barrel. Throw it there, nothing in it, as you can see. And I'm going to dump. Well, make sure that any of your filler items do not go in. I'm just going to dump my entire inventory in. Because if you send your filler items in, it will break the system. Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen, so let's... Oh no, this one needed to be 4 ticks. So, there we go. And it just goes fast enough to process and then just launches itself after that. And as you can see, the first item is nothing. It processes out, we got a cake. It goes on, as soon as that one's done. 4 ticks there also. Let's switch this to 4 ticks. Alright, now it's loading up, it finishes, launches, found a spot to drop it off, drops it off, picks up the one item, unloads into that one spot, and an easy way to tell is these lamps, and if we come down here, we're getting nothing but powered rails. Now if we go inside here, I had the powered rails not exactly in the center. And look, it's still in the same spot. So you can actually organize them according to however you need it. So we got... There we go, that fired. Yeah, so all of them need to be on 4 ticks. And we got our brick. We've got our water bottles. Chest doesn't have an item in it. There's no chest slot, so it's just going to bypass it. If it doesn't have a full stack, it's not going to take and go up here. It will just stay in, and I will show you right now with this comparator. So let's just wait a moment. And as you can see, we don't have the comparator. It's checking for a full hopper minecart. And if the hopper minecart isn't full, it's going to just ignore it. So, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section or join my Discord. Link will be in the description. If you want to support me, you can subscribe or join my Patreon. Link will be in the description. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.